Today we are solving Maths and Physics MCQs from past paper 2023, and basically our very first question is of mathematics, as you can see. This is the first question. So it basically asks us to simplify this given term. Okay, we need to evaluate it. So basically this is a very easy question. It just requires simplification and nothing else does it require. So basically we are going to start to solve it now. Initially I'm writing the question as it is here as well, so that it doesn't create any confusion for us. It's the third root, right, which is the cube root. 9 into 10 to the power 4 raised to the power 2 minus 10 power 8 plus 1.2 into 10 to the power 11. It's all under cube root, right? And in the denominator we have 10 power minus 1 minus 9.8 into 10 to the power minus 2. Now see, how can we simplify it is basically very easy. See, if you have A and B, they both are raised to the power 2. How will you take them out would be, of course, you need to take square of A and then square of B first, 2. Okay, so this rule would be applied here as well. Okay, consider this A value is 9 and B value is 10 power 4. So this square would be now raised to these both terms. Okay, I hope this concept is clear. So 9 square is basically 81. And 10 power 4 square is 4 into 2 is 8, so 10 power 8, of course. And then if I write minus 10 power 8 as this minus 1 into 10 to the power 8, it would be same, right? It would not create any difference. So instead I'm writing here minus 1 into 10 to the power 8 plus, I need to make this power 8 as well, right? And here it is 11 right now. So for making it power 8, I'll have to move this point basically. How many times? 3 times. So 1, 2, 3 into 10 to the power 8. Okay, so 1200 into 10 to the power 8. Let me remove it. 1200 into 10 to the power 8. In the denominator we have is 10 power minus 1 equals 0.1. Okay, and minus, if I move my this point 2 times on the left side, so basically it would be 0.098, right? And these all things are under cube root, of course. Now let's solve it further. Now basically what can I do? From numerator I see the common thing is 10 power 8, right? In these three terms the 10 power 8 is common term. So what I will do now, of course 10 power 8 I'll take as common. Okay, I've taken 10 power 8 as common, and what is again then left is 81 minus 1 plus 1200, right? So 81 minus 1 is 80, and 80 plus 1200 is 1280. Okay, in the denominator what we are left with, if 0.100 minus 0.098, so what we are left with, let's see, this becomes 9 now. 1, 10 minus 8 is 2, and 9 minus 9 0, 0, 0. Okay, so it basically is now 0.002. Okay, and these all things are under cube root. Now we need to solve it further in order to have our answer. So basically if I write 1280 into 10 to the power 8. If I have to write it in the exponential form, how can I write? So 2 into 10 to the power, this point 1, 2, 3. 3 times on the right hand side, which means minus 3 power, right? All under cube root. So basically now 2 into 1 is 2, 2 into 6 is 12, 2 into 4 is 8, 0. So now it is 640 into 10 to the power 8. When this minus power goes on the numerator side, it will get positive 3. So 8 plus 3 would be 11, right? Under cube root. If I make it 64, so 64, this point has moved here, which means 1 point. It has moved on the left hand side, right? So if it is moved on the left hand side, of course power will be added to it. So it is now 12 and everything is under cube root. And cube root of 64 is basically 4, right? 4 into 4 is 16 and 16 into 4 is 64. So basically 4 has came out and 10 power 12. I already taught you this. Cube root means 1 power 3 power, right? 1 power 3. So 3 ones are 3, 3 fours are 12, 4 into 10 to the power 4. So 4 into 10,000, right? It would basically be now 40,000. Now let's see if we have gotten this in our answer. And yes, we have gotten this, our answer, which is option number first, A. Okay, we have gotten our answer. Let's move towards the second question. And it is of physics. It's 52nd question and it is of physics. A block sliding along a flat horizontal surface at an initial velocity. So basically whatever you are just reading, I told you that in the previous videos as well, that whatever data you are reading, you just have to copy that down. Okay, so what data have you come across right now is basically initial velocity first. So initial velocity means vi is what? It's 2.0 meter per second. Okay, and then experience a constant residual force of 4 Newton. So basically force is also given and that's of 4 Newton. Okay, and then that brings it to the rest, which means from initial velocity, from initial some velocity, it is coming to the rest. So it means final velocity would be what? It would be 0 meter per second, right? And then the distance is of 2.0 meter. Distance is basically represented by symbol S and it is 2.0 meter. What they have asked us to find is basically the mass of the block. So what we are required to find? We are required to find the mass of the block. Okay. So basically what formula do we have is of force. It's basically ma, mass into acceleration. Now see, force is already given to you guys, right? Mass they have asked to find basically, and acceleration is not given. So basically we need to find acceleration first, and for finding acceleration we have a formula basically. uh, you might have heard about third equation of motion. So third equation of motion basically says us, or its equation is given by third equation of motion. Its equation is given by 2as is equal to vf square minus vi square. We have basically three equations of motion. First one is vf is equal to vi plus at. Second one is s is equal to vit plus half at square. And the third equation of motion is 2as is equal to vf square minus vi square. Now if you see, every value is given instead of this a, which means you can, from this equation you can basically have your a value, right, which means acceleration. Now let's substitute the values and let's have our acceleration. So 2a we need to find, of course. Acceleration is given by 2 meter, so 2, right, and then we have is equal to vf square. The final velocity is 0, 0 square minus initial velocity is given by 2 and 2 square, right? Now see, 2 2s are 4, 4a is equal to 0 minus 2 2s are 4, right? We need to have our a. So 4 minus 4 divided by 4 is minus 1. Now see, this minus basically represents that the acceleration is done in the opposite direction. Since we already knew that force is resistive, right? It's frictional force. So the body is accelerated on the left hand side, I mean on the opposite direction, not in the direction it is moving, right? So minus sign just tells us about the direction. We want to have the magnitude, so basically our magnitude would be 1, right? Now let's substitute our value in this formula. F is equal to ma. Since now we have force, we have acceleration as well, and now this is how we can find our mass of the block. Now let's just substitute the values. So F is equal to ma, force is given by 4, mass we are of course supposed to find, and acceleration is given by 1. 1 is multiplying with m here, when it will go to it will be divided, so 4 by 1 is basically 4, right? And mass is in kgs, right? So mass of the block is 4 kg, and we have gotten our this answer, right? So I hope this was clear. We are done with our 2 questions basically. Now we are going to solve our next question, and it's of mathematics again. Again, very interesting question. Find the area enclosed by 3 lines. These 3 lines are basically given to us, and we need to find the area which is enclosed from these 3 lines. Okay. Now see, we need to find their intersection first, right? So if I have to find intersection between these 2 lines, one line is y is equal to 0, another one is y is equal to 2x minus 4. So basically I can substitute y is equal to 0 in this equation, right, in equation number 2. So y is equal to 0, right? So 0 is equal to 2x minus 4. 2x is equal to minus 4. When it will go there, of course it will be positive. Then x is equal to 4 divided by 2 is 2, right? So we have gotten our value of x. So when we are taking x as 2, y value is 0 we have. So our first intersection point, okay? Our first intersection. This is our first intersection. Now let's find the intersection between this first equation and third equation, okay? So first equation is y is equal to 0. Third equation is y is equal to 11 minus x. Just substitute the value. So 0 is equal to 11 minus x. When minus x would go on the left hand side, it would be positive. So x is equal to 11. So when we are taking x value 11, the y value is basically 0. Okay, this is our second intersection point. This is our second intersection point. Now we need to have our third intersection point. So for finding basically our third intersection point, we need to compare these 2 equations now, because these 2 only are left to be compared. So y equals 2x minus 4 and y equals 11 minus x. Can we equate these both equations, because it's also equal to y, it's also equal to y. So basically y value is given by 2x minus 3. So 2x minus 4 equals 11 minus x. X is of negative here when it will go there positive, so 2x plus x is 3x. Negative 4 will be positive there, so 11 plus 4 is 15. 3 ones are 3 and 3 fives are 15. So now we have gotten x value basically. Now we need to have our y value. So by using this equation, we need to have our y value, right? So y equals 11 minus x value we have just gotten, which is 5. So 11 minus 5, y equals 11 minus 5 is 6, right? So 6. So third intersection point we have gotten is 5 comma 6. Now basically let's draw the graph and let's see what's happening here. Okay, I'm making a very rough graph in order to explain you guys. So basically this is my graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just plot these points which we have gotten, point 1, point 2, point 3. Let's just plot these 3 points on my graph. So our first point is 2, 0. Okay, x is 2, x is basically 2, x is 2 and y is 0. So this is my 2, 0 point. Okay, our second point is 11, 0. So x is 11 and y is 0 again, so 11, 0. Our third point is 5, 6, which means x is 5 and y is 6, so it will of course be here, right? 5, 6. If I combine these 3 lines, what do I get? What do I get is basically this shape. So basically we need to find this area enclosed by these 3 lines. We have found the intersection point between these 3 lines. So we need to now find this enclosed area. So basically this is a triangle, and for finding the area of a triangle we have a formula which is 1 by 2 length into breadth, right? So 1 by 2 length is what? Now see, length is this, right? And length is again from 0 to 6, right? So 6 is the length. What's our breadth? Let's see. Our breadth must be this, right? From 2 to 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 and 9. So basically 9 is our breadth. 2 ones are 2, 3s are 6, 3 into 9 is 27. So 27 is the area we have. And we have got an answer. It's basically A option. Now let's go and solve the 54th question. A fixed mass of an ideal gas, it's basically of physics, right? So a fixed mass of an ideal gas is compressed slowly so that its volume halves and its pressure doubles. Which of the following statements about the gas after this change is or are correct? Okay, so basically we have PV is equal to nRT. This is basically ideal gas equation, right? So whenever they mention in their MCQs about ideal gas, you just have to write this equation first, right? Then you're going to get it what basically they are asking about. So PV, NR basically is the constant, right? So NR is the constant, is equal to is constant, and when we basically remove is equal to when constant, we get proportionality sign is proportional to T. Okay, now see, I know my P1 V1 equals P2 V2, right? P2 V2. They say that pressure volume is halved. Okay, let's see. Volume is halved, which means V2 by 2 and pressure doubles. So 2p2. Now see, again these 2 would be cancelled out, and what would we be left with would be p2v2. So nothing has changed, right? So basically, which of the following statements about the guest after this change has now has happened from these three equations or statements, we need to find the correct one. The final temperature of the gas is same as before. So basically, in this entire scenario, we have compared pressure and volume, right? And pressure and volume, we have compared. See, volume halves, pressure doubles, which means pressure is inversely proportional to volume. And this, comparison between volume and pressure is only given in the Boyle's law, where temperature is constant, right? So temperature initially was constant. Temperature, if temperature is constant, it would be, of course, unchanged, right? So the initial temperature would be equal to the final temperature as well, which means our first option is the correct answer. Let's see if our second option is correct answer too. The final internal energy of the gas is the same as before the change. Now see, we know that internal energy is basically directly proportional to temperature, right? If temperature is unchanged, so internal energy would of course be unchanged, right? It would be constant as well. So the final internal energy is same as before. Of course, it is unchanged. So this is correct as well. Let's read the third statement. The final mean kinetic energy of the particles of the gas is same as before the change. Now see, kinetic mean energy basically depends on temperature. It depends highly on temperature, okay? And we know that temperature isn't changed, temperature is constant. So kinetic energy would be constant as well. Kinetic mean energy would be constant as well. So the final mean kinetic energy of the particles of the gas is same as before change. Of course, it is constant then. So which means our first, second, and third statement, three statements are right. So our A option is correct. Let's go and solve our fifth question. Our fifth question is of mathematics. It is again very easy, not difficult at all, guys. So, which of the following is a simplification? Basically, we just need to simplify this entire term, right? So, in the numerator, I can of course take the factorization, right? And how will I be factorizing this? Now, see, this is a very easy 2x square minus 9x minus 18. How you basically factorize it, learn it today, okay? And please do not forget the factorization of the quadratic equation after today. So you need to multiply this first term with the third term, okay? So 2 into 18, you have to do minus 18, of course, since this is minus, right? So minus 18 is equal to, of course the answer would come in minus, right? So 2 8s are 16, 1 up, 2 1s are 2, 3. So minus 26, right? Now you need to find the factors of minus 36 that add up to minus 9. Okay, so if I factorize minus 36, can I multiply minus 12 by positive 3? So minus 12 into 3 is minus 36, right? And if I add these two, minus 12 plus 3, minus plus minus, 12 minus 3 is 9. And the sign is, of course, with the greater one, so minus like 9. So basically, we found its factors. And basically, when we added those factors, we got our middle term. This is what factorization is, middle term break is, okay? So now let's just write here 2x square. Instead of this minus 9x, now I can write these factors, right? So minus 12x, and my another factor is plus 3x, okay? Minus 18. So this is basically the middle term break of this quadratic equation. And then in the denominator, what we have is, if I take x from common, because x is present in both terms, right? So if I take x common, in the first term we have x square, so initial x is gone out, another x is left, right? Minus from 6x, x is already gone, so only 6 is left out. Yes. Now negative sign, we have to solve it further, right? I'll have to basically take this a bit up. Oh god, I can't. So it's basically fine for me. I can manage. So minus. Now I have to factorize this as well. So 3 into minus 3 is minus 9, right? Now I have to basically factorize this. 9 into minus 1 is minus 9, right? I need to take out its factors, and when I add those factors, I basically must get my middle term, right? And 9 minus 1 is positive 8. So yeah, these are my factors. So 3x square, instead of this plus 8x, now I have to write my factors. Plus 9x minus x and then minus 3. I can take x from common, right? X common from here, so x plus 3 left. Now see, now this has become very easy. From these two terms, what I can see common are is 2x, right? Then what is left from the first term is only x, minus 2 6 are 12, right? 6. And from these two terms, what is common? Basically plus 3 is common, right? So x is left, minus 3 6 are 18, right? 6. In division, x into x minus 6 minus, now see what I have common from these two terms is 3x, right? So 3x, x plus 3, okay, because 3 3s are 9, right? And then from these two terms I can take minus 1 common, so x plus 3, right? In division, x into x plus 3. Now see what I can write. X minus 3 and x minus 3, these both are common, right? So I can write it for a single time. So x minus 6, and what are again left is 2x plus 3, right? So 2x plus 3 divided by x into x minus 6. Negative x plus 3 is common, right? And what is left? 3x minus 1. So 3x minus 1. In division, x into x plus 3. Now see, we can cancel out x minus 6, right? And from here, x plus 3, x plus 3. Now what are we left with is 2x plus 3 divided by x, right? Negative sign, 3x minus 1 divided by x. X is common, okay, fine. 2x plus 3 minus 3x, and minus minus plus, right? So plus 1. Now you just have to simplify it. So 2x minus 3x is minus x. 3 plus 1 is plus 4 divided by x. So basically minus x by x plus 4 by x, right? X cancelled. So minus 1 plus 4x. I can also write it like this, 4 upon x minus 1, right? 4 upon x minus 1. 4 upon x minus 1. Let's see if we have gotten this answer. 4 upon x minus 1. And 4 upon x minus 1, we have gotten our first option. I hope now you are very familiar with middle term break as well. it's not difficult. Okay, initially it might seem difficult, but I hope now it is not. Okay, now let's go and solve our 56th question. I'm just struggling a bit. Okay, fine. 56th question. An 18-volt battery and a 3-ohm resistor are connected in series. Okay, these both are connected in series. And in the very first video of physics, we basically cleared our concept about series and parallel resistors, right? If I write formula for series resistor, it was basically resistor 1 plus resistor 2 plus up to so on. Okay, and if I talk about parallel, right, this is series, and if I talk about parallel, so 1 by Re equals 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus up to 1 by Rn. This was in parallel, right? Okay, so now they are saying and in series with a parallel arrangement of 3 ohm and 6 ohm. So 3 and 6 ohm are basically parallelly arranged. 3 ohm and 6 ohm. So 1 upon Re is equal to 3 ohm 1 upon 3 plus 6 ohm. So 1 upon 6. Basically I need to add them. For adding them I have to make their denominator same. So 3 into 2, and of course if denominator is multiplied by 2, numerator must be multiplied by 2, right? So 1 by 2 is 2 plus 1 divided by 6, 3 by 6, which is of course 1 by 2. 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6. So 1 by Re came out to be 1 by 2. I want my equivalent resistance only, not 1 by R. So equivalent resistance is 2 ohm, right? This is parallelly arranged, right? Okay. Now they said an 18-volt battery and a 3-ohm resistor are connected in series with each other. 3-ohm resistance is connected in series with the resistance parallelly. You know what? This 3 ohm is connected with the equivalent resistance from parallel, and equal resistance of parallel is 2 ohm. It is now connected in the series with 3 ohm. So in series we have formula Re equals 3 ohm is connected in the series with these two parallelly. So these two parallelly is basically 2 ohm, right? So 3 plus 2 ohm is 5 ohm. And they have said battery with voltage 18. So 18 volt of battery. This is our R. We are supposed to find the current of the battery. So basically we know now Ohm's law, right? Ohm's law is nothing but it says V is equal to IR, right? We need to find the current. So I is equal to V upon R. Our V is 18, right? So 18, R is 5. If I divide this 18 by 5, 18, 5, 5 threes are 15. What's we are left? 18 minus 15 is 3, right? Point. Now I can put it 0. So 5, 6 are 30. So what our answer is? 3.6. 3.6. And of course current is measured in its unit ampere, right? So 3.6 ampere. Let's see if we have gotten this an answer. 3.6 ampere. First is the correct answer. Now let's move towards our next question, which is 57th. Again, not difficult at all. The mean of 5 non-zero positive integers is 20. The mean of 5 non-zero. So basically how many digits we have is 5 and their mean is 20. So basically mean is same as average, right? Mean or average. Formula is sum of values, okay, upon number of values. How many number of values are there, right? So their mean is basically 20. You're not known about the sum of their values. So x, by how many values are there? There are 5, right? So if you have to find their sum, x is equal to 5 would be multiplied by 20. So 5 into 20 is 100. So 100 is basically sum of those 5 numbers. The median is 24. Median is nothing but it is just middle term, right? So middle term is basically given by 24. So I have something here, A, right, which is less than and equal to B. B is less than and equal to 24, which is the middle term. And then D and then E. So basically we are supposing that these values are arranged in a order and their entire sum is equals to 100. We need to find the largest number. Okay. Now considering this A value as smallest and smallest value we have is 1, right? 1 is less than or equal to B. So I can of course put B as 1 as well because it can be equal to B as well. And which is again 1 is less than or equal to 24. It is less than 24, yes. Then 24 is less than equal to D. So again I cannot put it 25, right? But I can put it 24. It can be equal, right? If I put 25 it would be again right, but I have to find my largest possible value. So for finding the largest possible value I need to give them smaller values. Okay, so 24, and then if I add them, 24 plus 24 is 48, 49, 50. So these basically 4 values make the sum of 50. So what the last value would be would be 50. So largest number is what from these 5 numbers is 50, right? So it's our answer. I hope it is not difficult. It's easy. Now we are on 58th question. A long single coil of wire is connected directly to an ammeter. Coil is basically connected to ammeter. Ammeter is used to measure the flow of current, which is used to indicate the direction of the current in a wire. Okay, as north pole of a bar is inserted into left hand end of the coil. North pole is, you know what, inserted here. The ammeter indicates a current in a certain direction. Okay. Which other action performed separately produces a current in the same direction? So we, whatever direction it is, the current is produced in initially, we need to make some more scenarios in order to produce that same direction. Okay. So basically, when magnet is brought nearby the coil, it basically it's you know what, magnetic field changes. Magnetic field changes and current is produced. Electrons start flowing, which means current is produced, right? Current is produced. And according to Lenz's law, it basically opposes changes. It opposes changes. It does not allow any change to occur, right? It does not allow any change to occur. So when North Pole is brought nearby this, again its magnetic field would be changed. Okay, its current would be produced. but we know that the property of coil is that it would oppose the change, which means it now this side of the coil has to oppose this north pole. And how will it oppose? I mean, the synonym of oppose is repel, right? How will it repel? Of course, north would repel north. So north side is here as well. Now see, we have got a certain sort of information that our current might be flowing from left hand side to the right hand side. Now we need to make the same scenario in order to produce the same direction of current. If I read the first option, inserting S pole on the magnet into the right hand side of the coil. If I insert here south pole on the right hand side of the magnet, of course its north pole would be on the left hand side of the magnet. Then of course this would again produce the same direction of the current from north to south, right? So from here to here, same current direction, which means our A option is right. Okay, I hope uh, it didn't allow us to read further options. We just saw our first option and we got our answer. Now we are supposed to solve, sorry, okay, 59th question. It's again easy, not difficult at all. Okay, the diagram shows two concentric circles, both with center O. Now see, concentric circle means common center. Concentric means two circles have common centers. Two circles with a center. A center means common center, right? So this is the common center and these two are circle. They both have the center which is common, right? So this is what we call concentric circles in maths. So diagram shows two concentric circles both with center O. An angle of the shaded sector is theta. So this is the shaded sector and its angle is theta. Okay. So the radius of the larger circle, this radius of this larger circle is 50 times greater than the radius of the smaller circle, which means its radius will be 50 percentage of x, and x is the radius of this smaller circle. Okay, plus x, right? Greater than the 50% greater than the smaller circle. Okay. The total area of the smaller circle is 36 pi centimeter square. So 36 centimeter pi centimeter square is the area of smaller circle. Now see, the area of circle is given by the formula. Area of circle is given by the formula pi r square. If I compare this 36 pi with this, so what will I get my r value? Let's see. This pi is basically cancelled with this pi, right? R square equals 36. I need to have only value of r, so under root on both sides. Under root of 36 is basically 6 because 6 into 6 is 36, right? So radius of small circle now we have found is 6 basically. Then the radius of larger circle would be 50% of this x. So 50% of x is 3, right? Plus x value is 6 and r. So r we have gotten is basically 9. Okay. And this r, this 9 is the radius of the larger circle. The area of the shaded sector is 27 pi by 8 centimeter. This area is already given, right? We need to find the area of a ring first. Okay. So total area of the larger circle would be what? Larger area minus smaller area. We'll basically get the area of ring. There is a ring between these two circles, okay? Okay, so we are just going to find the area of that ring now. So larger circle, um, of course the formula is pi r square, right? Pi r square, and r is given by 9, so 9 square is 81 pi, right? So 81 pi is the area of the larger circle. So 81 pi minus smaller circle area is already given, which is 36 pi, right? 36 pi. Here it is, 36 pi. So 36 pi. So 81 minus 36 is 45 pi, right? Now basically area of the shaded region is given. We are supposed to find this theta. And for finding the area of the shaded region, we have a formula, area of shaded theta by 360, okay, into total area of the ring, of course, of total area. Now just let's substitute the values. Area of shaded region is already given. It's 27 pi by 8, okay, is equal to, we need to find this theta. So theta remains on its position, 360, and total area is 45 pi, of course. Now see, 5 9s are 45, right? And 5 7s are 35, 1 here, so 2s are 10. 3 3s are 9, and 3 2s are 6, 1 here, 3 4s are 12, 3 1s are 3, 3 8s are, okay, 8s are, and pi cancelled with this pi. Now let's see what we are left with. 27 by 8 equals theta by 8 is left, right? So 8. This 8 cancelled by this 8. So the value of theta we have now gotten is 27, which is not given in the options. Let's see if we have in our whole numbers, and I don't believe we have here as well. So basically our answer is 27. Okay. Okay. Let's go and solve our very last question for today, which is of physics again. The simple pendulum of a tall clock swings freely backward and forward so that it passes through the vertical position at 1.0 second intervals. So basically we have a pendulum which you know that it would go here, then it would again come on the center position, again it would come here, then again it will go here. So basically when it will complete its one cycle, if it is starting from here, right, it will go here, okay, and then it will come back here. Let me make its figure again in order to explain you guys. So my ball is here, my clock is here, it will go here. In order to complete its one cycle, it has to come again to its original position, so it has to come again back here, okay. Now see, while this thing vertical position at 1.0 second, vertical position means center, okay, vertical position means center. So you need to know this, vertical position is center, and how many times has it come to a vertical position, which means center? It has come basically 2 times, and at 1.0 second. So 1.0 second means 1 second, and how many times has it come to center? Means vertical position is 2, right? So t by 2. We need to have time period, which is 2 would be multiplied by 1, of course. So 2 into 1 is 2. So 2 second is my time period, which means one cycle, I mean the time required to complete one cycle is time period, right? So this one cycle would be completed in 2 seconds. What they have asked us, assuming that the motion of the pendulum is simple harmonic, what is the length of the pendulum? We are supposed to find the length of the pendulum, okay, which is again very easy concept, not difficult at all. We know the formula for simple harmonic motion of time period, which is given by t is equal to 2 pi under root L by g, right? L by g. T we are already having now 2, right? 2 pi. Length we are supposed to find, okay? And G is given by 10, right? This 2 cancelled with this 2, okay? So pi is multiplying with this entire factor. When it will go there, it will be divided, right? So 1 by pi equals length by 10. Squaring on both sides because I have to remove this. I have to find my L value, right? So squaring on both sides, of course. So 1 by pi square is equal to, this would now come out, L by 10. And pi square to be 10. Pi square, they have given the value of pi square already, which is 10. So 1 by 10 equals L by 10. 10 cancel with this 10. So L value has came out to be 1 meter. Okay, let's see if we have gotten this answer. Yes, 1 meter we have gotten. This is the A option we have. And finally, we are done with physics and maths MCQs from past paper 2022. Soon we'll be solving the physics and maths questions from past paper 2021 as well. So